A juror who helped convict a death row inmate now says she believes he is innocent. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. That juror testified before a State House committee about the Roberson shaken baby case. Roberson himself was expected to testify today. It's what delayed his execution last week after a bold move made by members of the Texas House. He ultimately did not appear today, either in person or by video conference. Instead, lawmakers have heard from a string of experts and advocates on Roberson's behalf. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is in now with details. Peyton.
Stephen, that testimony is still taking place at this hour, going on 9 hours. Robert Roberson's attorney is testifying as we speak. She says she was notified late Saturday evening Roberson would have to testify by Zoom. However, she's pushing for Roberson to come in person. The committee remains in talks with the Attorney General's office to come to a resolution on how Robert Roberson will testify. Meanwhile, we have a recap of today's witnesses.
In a turn of events, death row inmate Robert Roberson didn't testify Monday before the Texas House Committee, despite a subpoena lawmakers issued last week that ultimately halted his execution. Now, Roberson's testimony will be delayed due to the legal battle over whether he could appear in person or by video conference. Both Governor Greg Abbott and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton objected the committee's subpoena. Paxton demanded Roberson speak virtually, but the committee chair, State Representative Joseph Moody, disagreed.
Robert is a person with autism who has significant communication challenges. He's also spent most of the last 2 decades alone, locked away from the modern technology we now take for granted.
The 57-year-old was convicted of killing his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki, in 2002. Roberson took her to an emergency room in Palestine, Texas, where she was diagnosed with shaken baby syndrome. More recent science has undermined other shaken baby cases, and Roberson's attorneys challenged that diagnosis, calling it junk science. Medical professionals and the former lead detective on the case have come forward, now believing Nikki died from undiagnosed pneumonia. The hearing continued on Monday with witnesses invited to testify on Roberson's behalf. This included author John Grisham and TV host Dr. Phil. Both believe Roberson's innocence and are asking for a retrial.
I am 100% convinced that we're facing a miscarriage of justice here. I say that because I do not believe that Mr. Roberson has had due process in this case.
One of the 12 jurors in Roberson's trial said the state's case against Roberson focused solely on shaken baby syndrome.
Nothing else was ever mentioned or presented to us to consider. If it had been told to us, I would have had a different opinion, and I would have found him not guilty.
She says since learning of the new information about the case that wasn't presented to her, she now believes he's innocent.
I just realized, and I just finally came to the conclusion, he was an innocent man.
Pro bono attorney Donald Salzman says Roberson's attorney reached out to him to review Roberson's case. Salzman told the committee the jury heard, quote, outdated, unverified, and unreliable science that was presented as facts.
We found that evidence that she had pneumonia was definitive, but it was not understood or really even discussed at trial.
A former judge with the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals also testified today. She pointed out that a third of the judges on the court would not be returning after losing their primaries, which could come into play depending on how long all of this is stalled out. Steve?
All right, Peyton, thanks.